Daf Hey and Aleph will begin Dalet Amud Beis, 4 lines from the bottom. We're in the middle of the sugya, the discussion in the Gemara, that we know that Chometz is also Mishei Shosel Mala. That from the end of the 6th, the beginning of the 7th hour on Erev Pesach on Yud Dalet, Chometz is also. So how do we know that? The Gemara said that there's 2 psukim. It says Shivas Yomim Sor Lo Yimatz Bevatech. It says that there can't be any Chometz for 7 days. And it says, Ach b'yom rishon tashbisu sarmi batechem. You have to eliminate the saor, the chometz. You have to eliminate it b'yom harishon. Now, how can you eliminate on the yom rishon where you can't have chometz for 7 complete days? So therefore, we say that the yom rishon is referring to not the first day of Pesach. It's referring to the Erev Pesach, the 14th day of Nisan, Erev Pesach, Abbas. And it teaches you that there has to be biur. The biur is done on the 14th of Nisan, on Yud Dalet. Well, maybe it's to include the night of the 15th. Maybe it's not the 14th. Maybe it's the 15th. You told me that it says that Shivas Yomim, so how can you remove and eliminate the Chometz on the 15th? It says that on the 7 days you can't have Chometz. No, because it says Shivas Yomim Sor Lo Yimatz Bevatech. So I might have thought that Yomim in Leil Sloi, that the Isra of having Chometz is only from the daytime, and that the night of the 15th there wouldn't be the Isra of Chometz, and that you could do the biur chometz on the night of the 15th. So that's why it has to tell me, to teach me afilu leilas, that to tell me that this pasuk is including b'yom rishon is to include the night of the 15th, not Yud Dalet. And as the Pnei Yeshua explains, I prefer to say that it's including the night of the 15th than Yud Dalet, because to say it's on Yud Dalet is not the pshuta shel mikra. And this is more consistent with the pshuta shel mikra, that it's referring to the beginning of Pesach. So Gemara says that no, that I wouldn't have said. I don't need the pasuk to be marba the 15th, the night of the 15th. I don't need that, because I would know that anyway. Because we have a hekish, a comparison from removing of the sora to the eating of the chometz. And there's a hekish between eating of the not eating of the chometz and eating of the matzah. More explains. There is a hekesh between eliminating the sore and eating of the chometz. It says for 7 days that sore should not be found in your premises. That means you have to destroy it. Because anyone who eats chometz will have kores. So we see the comparison between the eliminating of the chometz of the sore and eating of the chometz. And there's a comparison between achilas chometz and achilas matzah. It says you should not eat any machmetzes, any chometz, and all your dwellings eat matzahs. And therefore we have a hekish between that chometz and matzah. And uksi b'matzah, it says b'matzah ba'erev tzarich l'matzahs, that at the nighttime you have to eat matzahs. So therefore, the chain of it, and we connect it with a chain, matzahs is at night. Then we say, therefore, the eating of the chometz also starts at nighttime. And therefore, we say hashbasa sor, removing of the sor of the chametz also starts at nighttime. So I don't need the pasuk of ach b'yom rishon tashbisu sarmi batechem to include the night of the 15th. It must be to include the 14th. Frank the Gemara, well, okay, enechanami, but still ve'emel rabbis leil arba asar labior. How do you know it's to say that it's in the daytime of Erev Pesach? How do you know that it's from the end of the 6th hour? Maybe it starts from the nighttime. Maybe biur chometz has to start from the night of Erev Pesach, the Yud Dalet. Where it says Bayom Siv, it says Bayom. It says in the day. So therefore it doesn't start at night. the beer chametz isn't the day. Fine, but still maybe it's from the beginning of the day. Why in the middle of the day? The Gemara answers ach chalak. It says ach b'yom harishon. So ach is a limitation. It's not the entire first day. It's part of the first day. So it's after the midday, after the 6th hour. That's one limud. The Beis Rabbi Shmuel Tana, a different limud. He said matzino arba'asar shenik harishon. He said the ach b'yom harishon we find somewhere else that is a reference to Yudalit. It's not because of the diuk from the psukim. It's not because otherwise there'd be a stira in the psukim. It's the day itself is called Rishon. Shenemar bar Rishon bar basar yom l'chodesh. It says Barishon on the 14th day of the month, and that evening you should eat matzahs. But the Yud Dalet, the Torah refers to Yud Dalet as Rishon. So here also, when it says the Ach B'Yom Arishon Tashbisu Sor, it means Yud Dalet Ben Nisan. Rav Nachman Yitzchak Omer, he says a different limit. Rishon mi'ikor masha. Rishon doesn't mean the first. Rishon means from before. It means the day prior. So therefore, it's Be'ach B'Yom HaRishon, the day prior to Pesach. And that means Erev Pesach, Yud Dalet. And where do we see that? The Amar Kra, the pasuk says, "Harishon Adam Tivalet." Were you born before Adam Harishon? Before Adam Harishon, were you born? So you see, Harishon means prior, the day before. The Gemara, well, if that's the case, you're saying that Rishon means beforehand, the day prior. Elamayata legabe Sukkos, it says lekachtem lachem bayem Rishon. It says you take the first day, you should take for yourself the lulav. So hachanami Rishon demikora mashmid. You mean to say that you take the lulav erev Chag, erev Sukkos? Of course not. So don't you see that it doesn't mean the day prior? The Gemara says no shiny hasam because the chsiv usmachtem b'snei Hashem lakechem shivas yomim. It says you should rejoice before Hashem 7 days. Mashi Shil Chag, just like the reference over there, it's referring to the Chag itself. So it says Lakachtem Lachem B'Yom Harishon, and it says Usmachtem L'Fnei Hashem Lakechem Shivas Yom. Just like over there, the Shivas Yom is referring to the Yom Tov itself, the Chag. Af Rishon, Rishon L'Chag. Here also it means Rishon L'Chag. It means the day, the first day of the Chag, not Erev Chag. And here in our context, it also says B'Yom Rishon, but it also says Shivas Yom and Matzos Techelu, and it says you eat matzah for 7 days, and that's a reference to the Chag. So we should say the same thing. The Gemara says no. Im kein nifta kra Rishon. It should say Rishon. Ha Rishon Lamali. It says the first Shmami Lola Kina Amran. Therefore, it's to teach you that it means Harishon means Erev Pesach, Yud Dalet. V'rekte Gemara Ihachi Hasam Nami Harishon Lamali. Well, it says over there Harishon. Why does it have to say Harishon? V'su Hasam Dechsi B'Yom Harishon Shabboson U'B'Yom Hashmini Shabboson. It says on the first day is a Shabboson. It's also b'Malach. You can't do Malach, and on the 8th day on Shmini Atzeres you can't do Malach. So, Ema Rishon to be Karamashma. Will you say the same thing that Rishon means that you have an Isra Malacha on Erev Sukkos? On your Dalet? Of course it doesn't mean that. Gemara says, Shiny Hasam. Even though it says B'Yom Harishon Shabboson, but Shiny Hasam, Damar Kro, B'Yom Hashmini Shabboson. It says B'Yom Hashmini Shabboson. And it says the 8th day is the day of Isra Malach. Ma Shmini Achag, just like Shmini Atzeres is a reference to the Chag. It's Shmini Atzeres. Af Rishon the Chag. So when it says Rishon, it also means the Rishon the Chag. It means the first day of Sukkot, not Erev Sukkot. Fragte Gemara, Ha Rishon Lamali. You ask why it's a Ha Rishon if it's not referring to Erev Sukkot, it's not referring to Yudal. Why does it say Harishon? And over there, it's Lamutei Cholamoid. Over there, the Harishon is to exclude Cholamoid. It's to tell me that it's Davka on the first day, but not on subsequent days. What does that mean? Meaning, Davka on the first day, the way most Shem learn is Davka on the first day, there is an Isra Malach, but on Cholamoid, there's no Isra Malach. That's Harishon. So Isa says it means Dafka on the Rishon on the first day. There's a mitzvah of a chiyuv of taking the Dalet Minim. outside the Beis Hamikdash, it's only on the first day. The rest of the days, there's no mitzvah minatayra to take the daled mina. Midrabanan there is, but not minatayra. In the Beis Hamikdash, it's the entire Chag HaSukkos. But outside the Beis Hamikdash, it's only B'Yom HaRishon. Why do I need a separate, special limud for Chol HaMoed? I can learn it now from Rishon HaShmini. It says the first day and the 8th day, which means Davka those days and not in the intermediary days. So why do I need a special limud? The Gemara says it says on the 8th day. It says on the pasuk Uvayim Hashmini. It says a vav Meisif Al Inyan Rishon, which you might construe that to mean that the 8th day is an addition. Uvayim Hashmini, and addition also the 8th day, meaning Chol HaMoed plus the 8th day. I might think that therefore it includes even Chol Shel Moed in the Yisr Malacha Kamash Malan. That's why it says Harishon, that it's on the first day. It's not on Chol HaMoed. Hey, well, you're telling me that I need the hey because it says the vav. Well, don't write vav and don't write hey. And if you didn't write the vav, I never would have thought Chol HaMoed, and I wouldn't have need the hey to exclude Chol HaMoed. So don't write the vav and don't write the hey. V'su hasam dechsiv, and also over there it says B'yam Rishon Mikra Kodesh Yelachem. On the first day it's a Mikra Kodesh. Rishon Demikor Mashma. Should you say that it means Erev Pesach is Mikra Kodesh, that it's also Malacha, that it's also Rasiyas Malacha? If you're telling me that Harishon means the day prior, so B'yam Harishon Mikra Kodesh, are you going to say Erev Pesach is also Malacha? Ella, the Gemara answers, Elahani Shleisha Rishon Mi Boile. Why do I need these when it says Rishon, that it says Rishon like a ton of the Beis Shmuel? I need it for the drasha of Tana Beis Shmuel. The Tana of the Beis Shmuel, Mischar Shleisha Rishon, for the reward of 3 Rishon, 3 firsts, for 3 mitzvahs that says Rishon, Zacha L'Shleisha Rishon. They were Zaycha, they merited 3 rewards of Rishon. L'Hachar Zara Shalesa, to destroy the Zera of Esav, Levinya Beis Hamikdash, L'Shmoi Shel Mashiach. So the Baraisa, it explains. L'Hachar Zara Shalesa, to destroy the Zera Shel Esav, Dechsiv Vayetze HaRishon. We see that Esav is a reference to Esav as a Rishon. It says Vayetze HaRishon Ad Moini Kula Ka'ader Seir, that the firstborn he emerged and he was like a Ader Seir, like a mantle of Seir, of hairy. It was hairy. Ulabinya Beis Hamikdash, and for the Beis Hamikdash, we see there's a reference to Rishon, D'chsiv, Kisei Chavad, Moram, Me Rishon, Makayim Mikdashenu. It's the throne of Hashem, the throne of Chavad is exalted, and it's from the beginning, from the first. That's the place of the Mikdash. Ulishmoy Shel Mashiach D'chsiv Rishon L'Tzion Hine Hinam. It says the Rishon L'Tzion, they are here, so the Mashiach is referred to Rishon. Therefore, we interpret the Harishon that it says by the Isra Malacha on Pesach and on Sukkot and the Netilas Lulav, not to refer to the day prior, but it indicates through it the reward that comes to the Asiyah of these mitzvahs, the reward of the Harishon, that these 3 mitzvahs, they give us the reward. We have the reward of the following 3 things. So the L'Hachar Zera Shel Esav, L'Binya Beis Hamikdash, L'Shmoi Shel Mashiach. And therefore, the Harishon that it says, Vayim Harishon Tashbisu Sar, is referring to Erev Pesach. Frektesis, well, perhaps I should say that the Yudalid of Nisan, the Yom HaRishon rather by Pesach, is not referring to Yudalid Rishon, that by Pesach it's a reference to this reward, the reward of these mitzvahs, and perhaps it's one of the other ones that is telling you Erev Pesach. Why should I say it that it's referring Dafka to the Rishon, the day prior, is referring Dafka to Erev Yom HaRishon Tashbisu, and the other 3 are for the rewards? Maybe it's maybe it's the Yom HaRishon Tashbisu is for one of the rewards, and one of the other ones is for the day prior. So it says, we started to say that those 3 refer to the rewards that we will receive because they're all written together. They're all written together, so it's in the same context, and therefore it has a reference to these rewards. Rava says that another makor to say that it has to be on Yud Daled on Erev Pesach. We learn that from the following: don't shech the korban Pesach when you have chometz in your possession. Don't shech the korban Pesach when you still have chometz. Now, since you shech the korban Pesach on Yud Daled, that must mean that the bir chometz has to be on Yud Daled on Erev Pesach. Well, maybe it's an individual. How do you know that there's one uniform time? How do you know that it's from the end of the 6th hour and on? Maybe it's an azhara that for each individual person, when he shefts the korban Pesach, he can't have any chometz, and there's no set time for it. So the Gemara says no. The Gemara answers Zman Shchita Marachman. The Torah says that there should be no chometz at the time that the korban Pesach is shechted. The time of the korban Pesach, it can be shechted bein harbaim. It's shechted. That's the Zman of the Shchita. At the Zman of the Shchita, there shall be no chometz. Therefore, everyone is mechuyev to be mevar his chometz when the korban Pesach can be shechted, not when he shechts the korban Pesach. The burning of the chometz has to be from Erev Yontav, Yud Daled. Or maybe you'll say it's on Tezvav. So we have a raya to what Rava said from this brisa. Rabbi Kiva Omer, he says, this is not needed. We have another drush. It says, Ach b'yom harishon tashbisu se'or mibatech. It says on the Yom Harishon you have to eliminate the se'or. Uchsiv kol malacha lo ye'asa b'hem. And it says you cannot do any malacha. You can't do any malacha on Yontif. Umatzino lavora she'av malacha. And we know that havora, burning, is an av malacha. So how can it be? It can't be that the chiyuv of bir chometz is on tezvav on yontiv because havor zahav malacha. It must be that it's on erev yontiv. It's on Yud Daled, not on tezvav. Rashi points out that even though on yontiv it's muter to burn things on yontiv, but that's only tzarach haichol nefesh, and this is not tzarach haichol nefesh. So therefore, havora it would be aser, and therefore you see that it has to be on Erev Yontiv. Rabbi Yossi Omer says, we don't need this, we know it otherwise. Because it says you have to eliminate the sore b'yom harishon me'erev Yontiv. It's on Yud Daled. Or perhaps you'll say it means on Yontiv. Talmud Leima ach cholek. Ach means you're splitting the day. It's part of the day yes and part of the day no. And not. Now, if you'll tell me that it means on Tezvav, on the day of Yontiv itself, how could it be that part of the day is muter and part of the day is aser? How can that be? There is a hekesh of sor to achilas chometz, and v'achilas chometz l'achilas matzah, and eating of the chometz to achilas matzah. So therefore, since there is a mitzvah to eat matzah at night, and therefore there's an issur to eat chometz by the night at nighttime already, and therefore the chiyuv to destroy the chometz haspasas sor has to be already done prior to the nighttime. So therefore, the acholak can't be splitting of the day of the yontiv itself. It must be acholak when we say part of the day is muter, part of the day is aser. It must be erev Pesach and not Tesvav, not Pesach itself.